So let's do a blender, and I'm not looking at any reference for this one. I'm just gonna try and pull from my general knowledge, but let's start with some sort of base, like so. And let's give the base a little thickness. I'm gonna switch pens actually. This one kinda gave out on me. I am using a Papermate Flare as well. And no, this isn't designed with any specific end user in mind. We're just illustrating a blender, not really designing a blender. Design's more about thinking about who might be using your product, why they're using it, what it says about them, all those things. But we're just gonna focus on our skills today. So you'll notice a lot of times when I draw, I'm trying to actually get better at this, but I'll put like multiple lines down. So I'm trying to limit myself to like 2 lines if possible. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so we've got the base, and now I just want a little area for control. It is a Vitamix, so it would have a knob, right? I'm thinking of what is the axis here. So it would have some sort of knob. That's kind of their signature thing. That's why I say it has a knob, but maybe they'll move away from all that digital stuff. Who knows? This knob is ridiculous, by the way. It would have to be smaller. All right. Now I can do the cup. Now a trick here, just so you guys know, is I'm gonna just put a dot up top here, and I'm kind of picturing what the top of this looks like. The reason I put that dot there is so I could just draw this line, and this line represents the back of the vessel. I'm not even sure what you call it, the jug. And so now I can kind of use that as a guide, and the reason I could do that pretty much straight up and down is if this is a 3-point perspective, then this center line typically will shoot right down to that third vanishing point. So it makes it kind of easy. It's just a little trick that I use sometimes if I'm sketching something really tall. And then I'll just leverage these lines here for the lid of this super tall blender. It's like the world's tallest blender, but that's okay. All right, and now a little spout. Just gonna sketch that in, something like that. And our jug needs a handle. I guess I sketch a lot of the same blender, but that's all right. It just reminds me of another one I did a few months back, something like that. All right. So once our lines are in a good place here, I'm actually going to add a double line to the blender to show some wall thickness, basically. And now I need to kind of sketch in these blades, and maybe that's the tricky part that people were kind of worrying about here. But I'm just going to put an ellipse in the middle, and now what I'm imagining here, okay, there's a point here if it has 4 blades, for example. All right, this is kind of the geometry in my head, and if I project down, I can have these blades pointing down like so, and then this one points up, so I just connect over here like so, and then go back down like so. And now I have, and it looks kind of weird because this blade goes up, but it looks kind of funny based on the angle. Now I could have, if this were an ellipse, pick some other points for rotation to show where that is. So sometimes that's something you need to do if you're sketching and your concept isn't totally clear. You might have to redo it and show it from a different point of view that makes more sense. And that's totally fine, totally okay. I do it all the time if I have to rotate a sketch, that kind of thing. All right, Instagrammers. My internet can only take so much of a dual stream. So I'm going to say deuces. Peace out. We're going to finish this with markers. And we are doing, yes, India Doodle. I know the camera angle is bad, but if you're on YouTube, you'll actually get a view like this. And it's pretty cool. Okay, so I'm going to peel off. Peace out. Come join me on YouTube, sketchaday.live or youtube.com/sketchaday.com. Okay, so let's finish up here. And then while I'm finishing this up, chat check-in. What's up? We got someone from Iran, Turkey, Lisbon. Very cool. Latrice says both ways are correct in pronouncing their name. Well, I would hate to, upset you by mispronouncing your name, so I appreciate the lenience there. All right. I'm trying to decide if I want to do any marker on this or not. I might just keep it simple today. Like I said, I'm running on very little sleep for one, but also no food all day. Just coffee right now. Coffee, music, and you guys. That's what's keeping me alive. And my kids, of course. But yeah, it's been a day. But I am grateful. Life's been good. Safe, healthy, happy. All of that good stuff. Alright, just added a couple vents here on the bottom. Motors, because they're spinning. It's kind of an intake that happens. Or airflow needs to happen rather on that motor. Maybe a logo here on the knob. And maybe for the brand, emphasizing the knob could be a good thing. So a couple chrome lines there. Like so. If you're just joining, this is Sketchaday Live. We do this 3 times a week. This is our Wednesday show. We also go live on Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific. So if you missed that show today, you can catch that one. And if you missed the Friday show, we go live at midday on Sunday. At around 12:01 Pacific. It just depends on the day and what's kind of popping around me, what's happening. But this is Sketchaday Live. Thanks for joining. Thanks for checking in. We have an international show, it turns out. Iran, Portugal. We usually have people from India and China as well. So, pretty awesome. Hello, Pablo. Bumblebee, what's up? Matthew. Funny comment. Okay, let's get a quick shadow in here. You might wonder why I always throw in like a background. I think that's probably a video like topic I could dive into that might be worthwhile sometime. So I'll revisit it, but basically what the background does is it helps to ground the object on the page, help it pop as necessary. Or rather, you're working in a 2-dimensional medium, meaning paper, so anything you can do to kind of help this thing feel 3-dimensional, meaning there's an object behind this main object, that's only going to help your presentation. You want to use it sparingly and judiciously, so not to have the elements compete with each other. The other way it's particularly helpful is if you have another view of the product, like so, for example, and maybe you're showing the shape of the handle, something I can't necessarily see here, but I want to sketch over here. I can add just a secondary drawing like so. Today's topic, by the way, is the kitchen, so anything in the kitchen you want me to sketch. Could be a plant, animal, well, maybe not animal. I don't want to do animals today. Plant, food item, appliance, anything you might find in your kitchen. People, maybe. We'll see. probably only going to do about 3 or 4 sketches today. Or it might be, you know, maybe there's an alternate view that you want to show of the product, right? Or it could be a different type of jar, something like that. Or maybe it's a different position for the spout. Like here's another idea. You know, maybe the handle comes off this way. You can sketch that down like so. But the background will help connect these ideas, at least conceptually, as someone's looking at the page. Having that color background kind of helps them relate to each other. Maybe this one has 2 knobs for some reason. Except now it looks like a dude looking somewhere. And we could do like a drop shadow. Also might be useful to do something like an exploded view on something like this, you know, to show what the parts are and what their makeup is, if necessary, like if the concept requires it. And that's really up to you as the illustrator, designer, person doing this to decide, is like, does this view do the job of communicating everything or not, right? So you've probably, if you've looked at industrial design portfolios or product design portfolios, you've probably seen pages like this where you'll have concepts and text and so forth. It's a pretty common thing, and the purpose of this is really just to tell a story about the product or experience. So this is a roundabout way of saying backgrounds are useful in conceptually linking ideas when we need them to be linked. Okay, someone says a Pyrex measurer. Okay, I can do that. Coffee machine. Okay. Let's have some fun and make our blender green. I don't think Vitamix, do they even do colored blenders? I'm not sure if they do. Maybe they do. I don't know. I have a Blendtec, so one of my friends used to work there, so I like to support Blendtec. All right, a little bit of marker on the front perimeter. This bottom portion here, I'm gonna fill that in with color. This is more of an abbreviated marker sketch, so I'm using one marker, okay, for each color, and then just hitting the area multiple times to kind of get a little darker. Pablo is asking if I can draw a pistol. Generally speaking, I don't like to draw weapons. It's kind of a, yeah, it's just an interesting area that can lead to a lot of complications, so I'd rather not go there. Oh, I forgot to mention special thanks and shout out to my Patreons. I know I keep saying I'm going to get you the brushes. I will get you them. I'm going to make a note tonight. It's not that I don't want to give them to you. I've just forgotten. But anyone who's been a Patreon for over 2 months will get my new Procreate brushes for free as a thank you. So thank you. And new Patreons do get a sticker in the mail. We have some new stickers coming out as well. I'll probably send out to existing Patreons. So just as a thank you, I really do appreciate it. We're certainly in uncertain times right now, and everything counts, everything helps. Some of you have asked in the past, what are some ways we can support you? One of the best ways actually is to, besides mailing me a wad of cash, is to actually just check out the store. If there's something you like, then pick it up. You can use the code FIRSTTIMER if it's your first time and get a discount. So to those who have used that means, thank you very much. Much appreciated. And I hope you enjoy whatever it is you picked up. And if you didn't enjoy it, let me know as well. I'm happy to try and make things right for people. Definitely believe in that. Okay, so one marker, wait till it dries here on the bottom as well, for example. Just wait till that dries, and then you can hit the area again, and now you have that interplay of contrast that really just helps the concept pop. All right, so we had a couple more requests. We had a Pyrex measurer of some sort. I'm guessing you mean measuring cup, one of the big ones, probably glass. I guess there'll be a lot of glass in this episode. I'm gonna grab my Ohuhu markers, the super cheap ones. Or maybe I'll use the Bianyo today. I also just worked out before the stream, so I'm like freaking exhausted. Jason asks, are there any episodes on Sketchbook Pro? Not yet, but I did start using Sketchbook Pro for a very specific project this week, so maybe there will be some of that. I think I've explained in the past, one of the reasons I don't particularly like Sketchbook right now is, unless they've changed it, but I feel as though they kind of abandoned the product for a bit there. And as far as I know, because I used to know people on the team, they kind of stopped development, or at least it wasn't a priority anymore. So if that's changed, I might be more amenable to checking it out. But Procreate and Fresco are kind of my go-tos right now for different reasons on the iPad. Alright, so it's really subtle, but you'll notice here in the corners I've kind of dipped down a little bit. Maybe just hit it with a little bit of blue. And that's just to suggest that there's some thickness to this plastic, okay? And if we want to thicken up the outline, we can do that. So there's a question about how to render inside a glass, which is a really good segue, because I want to talk about something. I get a lot of questions, and I don't mind making new videos by any means, but usually I feel as though you can find what you need by kind of just searching. So let's see, there we go, Sketchday, YouTube. Quick break, you can see I'm live right now. So if you go to the YouTube page or channel and you look at it, there's a few options. You got home, videos, playlist, community, store, sign in, channel about. You definitely want to hit that subscribe button. Like I said, there's links to all my fan pages, so Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, super easy. But more importantly, there's two things I want to show you. So the first is search. So if you want to search for glass, you can search for that, hit enter, and we have a few videos that talk about glass, either in the comments or in the description. But here's the most recent one, for example. You can also go to playlists. Now I've been revamping this, and I'm working on kind of redoing this page, but a lot of you asked for cars. There's tons of videos on cars, for example. This might play. Never mind, ignore that. Okay. So if you want to, let's see, view full playlist, that's what'll do it right there. So you can see all the videos on cars, and there's a ton of videos here, and there will be more. So I'm not stopping, I'm just showing you guys a little bit of the channel and how that kind of works. So if there's a topic you're after, you can sometimes find it in the playlist. There's also a community page where I post things. So posting sketches or announcements, updates. There's my kids' YouTube channel, for example. So just a little pro tip for you. If you're interested, you can check that stuff out. All right. So added some line weight to the back here. I can do the same thing on the front to kind of help this pop. And then we'll do our Pyrex glass next. I think that was the next request. This is just a brush pen I'm using here to kind of help with the line work and help pull this forward a little bit. All right, so I'm going to set this to the side. As always, I will be uploading these scanned sketches to the Google Drive. That link should also be in the video description. You can check that out. And I am going to take this one step further, and I'm going to break out the live video because I love you guys. I'm going to break this out into smaller videos.